Alf, we've got 99 problems, and apparently a downtown is one.
We got on this one. It luckily only set us back 250 or so.
Friends, there is a new threat. Actually, it's an old threat, but it keeps on coming, and sadly, scarily, man, I need a haircut. It is getting worse. And what are we talking about here? It is fake cards, and there's a few little twists and turns to this story, so make sure that you stay to the end. Before I deep dive into this, huge thanks to today's video sponsor, Pristine Auction, a place where you can get sports cards, non-sports cards, pop culture items, signed jerseys, like the Pele jersey I've got back here, all the goodness over there, daily auctions, elite monthly auctions, 10-minute auctions, and they also live stream as well. Check out my Pristine link down below to get $10 off your first auction victory. So if you've never submitted with PSA before, $25 off your first submission, one card minimum. You just have to send them one card, $25 off your first submission over there with the SCD25 promo code at the shipping and billing screen. A bevy of other hobby discounts in the video description notes. Okay, Oak City Sports Cards, actually nearby here. That's a local shop to me. What I know them best for is they have a handful of the Art DeBart cards going back to 1993 Simpson Skybox, but they've got really cool versions of those cards that are very, very expensive, and I cannot afford them. So Oak City Sports Cards, always at my local show. I see them all the time. So this is very interesting. So this is a downtown Davante Adams, the hottest card, one of the hottest cards in the entire hobby, as much as Mike Petty will call them Kaboomies and downtownies or whatever he calls them. The young people especially, and I say young, but really also the 20-somethings, as well as the repackers, man, they are all about their downtowns and their Kabooms. Those two cards, really, those insert cards, I feel like drive a ton of product in this space. Well, what happens when you got a lot of interest and a lot of money flowing around? We've got fakes, but here's kind of the scary part here is, as they had stated in their video.
Hello, a pretty gloomy Wednesday here at Oak City Sports Cards. Two reasons. One, I will not talk about. Some trade hurt my heart. But two, be careful out there. I didn't know that people were counterfeiting downtown Davante Adams, but the front looks fantastic. The card's probably like a 64th of a centimeter off, but the back, it's just that the pixelation's wrong. It smells new, but it just, the card stock is incorrect. The back, listen to that. That's not how
that doesn't sound right.
No, and it just a counterfeit card. So I think be super careful out there. If anyone knows any other ways to tell of bogus cards, let us know. We got on this one. It luckily only set us back 250 or so. But be careful out there. Let us know if there's other Kabooms or downtowns or any of those, because we would not like check this card typically. We will now. So little heads up there.
With this Davante Adams card, the front looks really good. The front looks like it could be real. It's slightly off. It's the back that is the giveaway, where the card stock doesn't feel right and the pixels are off, as they mentioned there. But to me, this is really concerning. When people can get this by a card shop, and he said here, hey, we hadn't really been checking these. We'll be checking them from here on out. I also did shoot this video over to Ryan Hogue, president at PSA, so that they are aware of it. And I'm sure PSA is probably on top of it, but with the amount of downtowns and Kabooms that are flowing around, especially expensive copies, I know PSA will want to know about what's going on as far as fakes and that stuff goes. Oak City said, hey, we're only out $250 on this one. I mean, still $250, and you have to wonder, again, when I think about this, how many of these are floating around? Which brings me into the next part of the video. There's a short that was done here by Chips Rip Sports Cards, and it's fake Kabooms. All right, fake Kabooms. But sometimes these are spun as custom cards.
Kabooms are getting more and more popular on eBay. It really pains me to see these cards and see them bidding for so much money. So this is a fake gold Kaboom Stroud. Here's one way to know that it's fake. Down here it says 2023 Kaboom. Kaboom football. If it was a real one, it would say 2021 Absolute Football. Get it? However, it's not that easy. Let's take a card like this. Cracked Ice, fake. See, this one says custom, but they normally don't say custom. And let's look at the back. The back says Panini. when it's completely not. So you got to be super careful. Make sure that you don't bid on any of these cracked ice kabooms. Cracked ice kabooms are not a thing.
They are custom cards, but they look very much like kabooms. And on eBay, sometimes they are listed as custom cards, but they've got the kaboom thing all over them. If you're not paying attention, then you could miss it. And then there's some that are listed on eBay that don't have custom there or don't have replica. The custom and the replica card game is interesting, kind of similarly to card art. I like the card art space when it's really, really unique and there's differences to it to where you can tell the difference. The artists are kind of putting their own spin on it, okay? But when it's a custom card that looks pretty much identical to what the card should look like, that to me, that makes me wonder, like, are you trying to pass this off as a regular kind of normal card? And that's the part where we run into trouble. On the Pokemon side of things, shout out to the second channel, Collectibles Dad. Check it out for all the Pokemon collecting, investing talk over there, speculation talk. There's a very popular Evolving Skies Umbreon card that is being reproduced. I saw it, I literally Googled this card, and they were sold out $12 replicas from Etsy. You know, and I don't know how many people are making the replicas, but again, just kind of going back to how good these look. If I'm a new person coming into the hobby, and especially that Umbreon card where I don't hold those cards, you know, I might just be searching on eBay thinking like, oh, cool, I want to try to get one of these for my kid or something, not realizing that someone might have bought a $12 replica card, trying to pass it off as a real card, and they send it through to auction. Maybe it gets $500 because in a PSA 10, that Umbreon card sells right now between $2,000 and $3,000 in a PSA 10. And so as we see, this is not a new subject. This is not some brand new thing. But whether we're talking about vintage cards that have been messed with, all the way up to ultra modern cards that are either being replicated, reproduced, counterfeited, whatever, it's bad news. And I also talked to my second channel, fake Pokemon cards in fake PSA slabs. And really the slab looks pretty good. If you're looking at it online, the one giveaway on it is the PSA, the hologram part in the middle there looks funky. But if you're in a hurry, you could easily miss it, or you're one of the hundreds, thousands of people that are coming into this space all excited about it and thinking like, ooh, I'm getting a great deal on this PSA 10 in quotation marks. That is a fake slab because you just don't know any better. And to make it even worse is the cert numbers line up. So, you know, the cert number, you go to search the cert on the fake slab and it pops up on the PSA website as a legit card, but the photo won't match. And I think that's where, you know, if you know what you're doing, you can see, okay, the picture on PSA doesn't match up with the picture of the card that's sitting there maybe on eBay. But again, these are all very nuanced things that, yeah, if you've been in the hobby for a while, you know what to look for. But a lot of people are going to learn the hard way and they're going to get scammed. Ryan Breakout Card, shout out to my buddy over there. He had a book that he brought out a few years ago called Spotting Fakes. I think it's on Amazon, but if not, I've got a copy of it. But reach out to Ryan at Breakout Cards if you want a copy of the Spotting Fakes book, because it does go through a lot of what to look for. And he's a vet in this, going to hundreds of shows and seeing good cards, bad cards, fake slabs, and all that stuff. So he's got a great book out there to check out, Ryan Breakout Cards, Spotting Fakes. I have to go back and bust a little bit again on the downtown cards. And sorry, guys, I know these are popular cards in the hobby, but I saw there was a post here, and I think Jeff Wilson had reacted to it. But it was a downtown, kind of a dual downtown card, and it's Bijan Robinson. I believe it's Michael Penix Jr. and Bijan Robinson. And I'm looking at the comments on this thing. I'm like, what are they so worked up about? And then I look closer at the card, and the field is all screwed up on this card. So I don't know if Panini is just cutting corners, just trying to like squeeze the field in to get the players in the shot right. I don't know, but again, I've heard so much talk about kabooms and downtowns are like this generation's insert. You know, it's like this, it's the PMGs of now. Like in 20, 30 years, everyone's going to want these kabooms and these downtowns. I'm just not sold on these at all. I'm not crazy about the look of them. And then, of course, when I see all the stuff with the different fakes and that, and granted, I know there's fake PMGs out there as well, but then you look at the quality control on this like Penix Jr., this Bijan Robinson, this dual one, it's like, damn, that looks awful. It just looks really bad. Not to mention, especially with downtowns, they just keep on bringing out more and more and more. I don't know. It just feels watered down, diluted. But anyway, just had to rant a little bit about downtowns. Guys, be careful out there, especially buying raw cards online. There has always been risks, of course, but I think my main takeaway when I'm seeing some of this stuff is that the fakes, the replicas, the fake slabs, it seems like the counterfeiters are getting better, not worse at it. And that's kind of the scary part, is just trying to make sure that they don't get too good at it to where we just cannot figure out what is what. And I'm sure it's going to keep putting heat on grading companies and card manufacturers trying to figure out different ways to slow this down, stop it. But there's always going to be new counterfeits, especially when we got so much money that's flowing through this industry. All right, my friends, stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.